All right, first of all, guys, welcome to the first ever remote Pump and Culture podcast episode. So today, I have a special guest with me. I met this guy a couple of years ago back on IG. We followed each other because we had just like a lot of similar content. I just really liked what he was doing on IG. So one day, I know we spoke about this story in the past, but one day, I think he was at some type of Super Bowl event. Um, I think we shared screens and he was doing
Hmm.
all cool stuff. And that's how we started to kind of talk a little more. The rest of it is pretty much history, but this guy has all the knowledge you need to know about growing a social media platform, all platforms. And that's all the above. And honestly, I'm just kind of happy to have this guy on the show today. Just welcome, CJ.
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. By the way, so it's the first ever remote podcast episode for you. So we got special sounds, we got the energy. Like, let's do it. Let's do it up, bro.
Nah, definitely. So, I always like to start the podcast off and just kind of ask how you been, like what's up with you.
Whew, how have I been? Oh man, I've been blessed, man. To be honest with you, there's a lot of things that are going on right now, transition in my life. You know what I mean? Where there's a point where, a lot of things are new. A lot of things are new, a lot of new opportunities, and there's the unknown, but that's exciting.
Hmm.
That's exciting to me. I think before the show, you were talking a little bit about, when you're a full time like entrepreneur, you gotta find ways to make money,
Yeah.
and you just have to do it on your own. You have to get up. Like, there's nobody coming for you. And so I'm very, very blessed, like with so many opportunities that are coming, and I'm the opposite of a lot of people in this space where I don't have enough time in a day to
Yeah.
fulfill all the things that people are asking me to do.
That's
You know what I'm
rare,
saying?
though. That's
Yeah,
rare, I think.
yeah, it's like, yo, it's very like unique, and especially when we getting deeper into it, and how I run through the fitness industry is a little bit very unique, and different. So I feel like I created my own path, and so there's the unknown part is what I'm talking about. Is like, I feel like there's so many new things happening at once, but it's exciting for me. My family, just like any other family, um there's ups and downs. There's a lot of things going on, but you try to balance it all out. You appreciate every moment,
Mhm.
and yeah. But overall, bro, blessed, good. Been traveling a lot. Excited for what's to come this year, and excited to be here today.
Perfect. So, I know we both in the fitness. I know you're doing your thing. You've had a lot of partnerships in the back. What what got you started with this journey? Why did you choose to go like the fitness influencer path where there was so much other routes you could have taken that could have been easier in a sense, you know what I mean? But for me, it's something about the fitness community that I enjoy a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And like you said, it's why fitness, man. It's a long story, so I hope you guys are ready to get. You guys sit back. You got your prime energy, your goat fuel, or whatever it is you drink, whatever it is,
We don't we don't
Celsius.
we don't drink that toxic stuff. No
I
prime.
know, I know. See, listen, I'm already starting off on the wrong foot. But listen, look, he's drinking water, or is it? Or is
Oh, it's water.
it? But no. So like, just starting out, like I'm not a personal trainer. Never claimed to be. Never really had a desire to be. And so the thing is that my whole unique path to fitness influencer is very different than most people, right? I didn't want to be on social media. Didn't want to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Actually, TikTok wasn't even back there in
Yeah.
2016, right? When I first got online, it was just me sharing my fitness journey. So that's why if you see my primary channel, Fit with CJ, is literally a personal channel. It's still a personal page. Even to this day, it's very different than when it first started. Right now, like if you go there now, you're gonna see me doing skits with some of the most influential people in the industry, seeing me at the Arnold, seeing me at different events, seeing me at the NFL Combine, the Super Bowl, and all the stuff like you talked about earlier. You went live with me while I was at the Super Bowl and all these different things that I'm doing.
Different.
But how did I get there, right? And it started with just me just posting a picture in front of, I feel like it was a Stairmaster, and this is like 26. I just picture me. That's it. And then I started second day. I posted another picture, and people started engaging. And then this is back when Instagram, you could just post pictures and get build a page, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like dope pictures, not reels, dope pictures would get people to follow. Now people won't even follow when they like your reel and everything. They don't even care no more. Still,
Yeah.
like,
They just keep moving. Yeah.
let's keep it moving. And so I realized that there was engagement and people. I started realizing it was a supportive community. People started like, "Hey, CJ, where are you at? You didn't post this yesterday. You didn't post this past week." And I was like, "Man, this is really positive." It was different mindset of what I thought social media was. I
Mm,
thought it was just, like, oh, people just being nosy and stuff. But no, it was encouraging for me. And I started to realize, man, you can create your own community, your own vibe, your own space. And so fast forwarding, just to speeding up a little bit, I started doing content, really, really dope content at mud runs, at fitness events. I'm a gym hopper naturally, so I just jump the gym,
where you
doing
from?
different. Originally,
Yeah.
Originally, I'm from New York City. Originally from New
You
York.
are okay, that's dope.
Yeah, I was born and raised in New York. But I went to high school in Michigan,
Oh, that's different.
and then I went to 1 year at Saginaw Valley University, in Michigan, and then I came down here to Atlanta.
Okay. That's
Yep, and
dope. I didn't know. Oh, that's
yeah,
dope.
see, I'm from up top. I'm from
All
up top.
right,
You know what I'm
all right.
saying?
All right, that's
I'm
new.
from up top.
All right,
Uh,
good.
so yeah, it's like, and then so with that, the whole point of like I was saying, the dope content, what that did was it made people realize, man, he's valuable in this space, and the stuff he's doing, and brands are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I love his recap you did. Hey, I love the video that you did. Can you come do that for us? And I was getting opportunities and hired and ambassadorships from events in the fitness space that personal trainers weren't getting, that people who are doing backflips and jumping off stuff and doing all this crazy stuff, or hell, six-pack abs or whatever, they were calling me, and people were like, what? Like, how are they calling me? Because it's like the content I was delivering was super valuable, right?
Yeah,
And the consistency of it, and it was like continuously, just like it was like nonstop. And that's how I always like to say, you got to be continuously great on that. But long story short, like split up a little bit faster. Like I said, that was one of those things that just led me to being like a social media coach for fitness influencers, for people in health and wellness industry. And then I can give you the backstory later on too, is like as to why that's such a passion of mine.
yeah,
But because it comes down to my father, right? It comes down to my father and some health problems he had in his last days. And so that kind of led me down this path. And now, man, I just tell you the things we've done and things we've already just scratched the surface of in the fitness industry is super exciting.
that's great to hear. That's great to hear. Do you how do you feel about, like, do you have any certain goals you're trying to hit, or is this more about how you're gonna just maneuver the industry and things like that?
Man, goals I'm trying to hit. Goals personally I'm trying to hit. I would say if you ask me this right now, I definitely want to get back into my running prime, if you want to call it that, where I was literally like running 4 or 5 days a week,
Okay.
consistently. Um,
Were you doing it by miles, or are you just kind of
I would say I was doing at least 3 miles a day.
okay, that's
I
good.
was doing
Yeah.
like 3 miles a day, 4 or 5 times a week. And just getting back to that, because I would say, just like a lot of people, life shifted in
Yeah.
2020. And it's not an excuse, it's just the reality that I literally became online and created a business online, which Fitness Online University. I don't know, you've saw it on my page, so it's like
Yeah.
I'm coaching other fitness professionals, gym owners from all around the world
Well,
now.
tell
Me,
just tell the people a little bit about that, what it is, and you know.
yeah. So Fitness on University, me, Coco Chanel Jones, and Side Hustle Mentor, my brother, we created an online university in 2020 because all the gyms were closed.
Mm,
All of the personal trainers in the world, just like everybody, didn't have a place to go.
yeah.
People needed content, and they needed online content, and they needed places to go, like websites and stuff, funnels and such like that. How do you rank in SEO? All these questions were coming up, and fitness professionals didn't have the answer for it. So we're going to give them the answer for it, and we're going to create Fitness Online University, which is literally in a continuous learning place for fitness entrepreneurs to not only keep up with your content, with your social media, to keep your funnels up to date and like top notch, creating your online offers, what pricing you should use, how to market on and offline. Like it's literally a university that constantly teaches you, because it's not just us. We also start bringing in different people in the industry, experts who have already done it, to come and talk. Just because of we're blessed to have a lot of connections, and so
Mhm.
that in itself, creating that business. Now here we are in 2024. it's literally it's just like a stable in the industry. And so that in itself kind of took over, and that was wild. And that's on top of 1,000 other things I got going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what Fitness on University is, and that's what happened in 2020. So we literally was sitting here, how do we scramble? How do we put this together to change the industry and help the industry
Yeah.
create this, unique platform? And that's what happened in 2020. And so with that, man, I started not running as much. And yeah, do I run here and there? I do,
Mhm.
but not as much as I used to.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Because talk about a little bit about those the running brand that actually reached out to you and gave you that deal. And,
Wow,
and,
come
and
on now.
since I've met you, you've had that deal. So I was like, that's impressive that you held it that long. Because
Yes.
sometimes I've had deals and it lasts 6 months and we just move on to something else.
Yeah, so what he's talking about is the deal with Mizuno Running USA. Shout out to Mizuno.
Yep.
I wish I could show you. Like I don't want to
Go
move
ahead
my
and grab
camera
one.
and show you.
Yeah, yeah, grab one.
Hold on,
You
I'll
got
show
one
you.
close
Like,
by?
well, I could. I was gonna, let's see. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so he's gonna go grab one of these shoes. So when I met him, he was doing these. He had this running brand reach out to him, and and this brand has so many dope colors. And he kind of told me about how they initially reached out to him, and then how he was able to kind of grow their content in a different way. And here he
Yeah,
is.
you can see the logo here, Mizuno. So it's a running company. It's global running company, and Mizuno, by the way, not just a local brand in the United States. It's global, so it's based in
Nice.
Japan, and they're not just in running, but in like golf and
They are.
why am I brain freeze? In golf and volleyball and different baseball. Like literally, they create like content for
They have
and
cleats too and stuff like that.
say again.
They have baseball cleats and things like that too.
Yeah, and they actually make stuff for the Atlanta Braves still here too, right here in
Oh,
Atlanta. So
cool.
like their apparel, so like it's huge in the fitness space, huge in sports in general,
Mhm.
right? And so like they reached out to me based on some content that I made in 2017. They saw that I did some really dope running content. So 2018, they invited me to an ambassador night, to an influencer night for these new sneakers that they were promoting.
Mhm.
I came there, did the headquarters, did the Hell campaign, but guess what? There was like 20 other influencers there.
For
And
hold on, CJ. For the people like me who don't know what influencer night is, what goes on there?
yeah, I am speeding kind of fast, like influencer night. You're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
So influencer night, what that was is like invited me and by like I said, about 20 other select people that they saw had dope content on social media, and they brought us to the headquarters. Which is if you guys are in Atlanta, they have a store here in Atlanta, near the Battery where the Atlanta Braves play. So then we went to the Mizuno store and they said closed it for the night, and they had drinks, they had food, they had free merch for us when we walked in,
So they just
sneakers.
wine
They
and
were
dine
giving
with you guys. They
wine
wine and
and dine based off
okay.
of Instagram posts, bro.
Okay, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Wine and dine. Like it was super dope. And
Okay.
it was my first time experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is super dope. And what do I always do? I create content.
Yep.
And I know it's so crazy because I know when you guys watch this podcast, if it's 2024 or even beyond that, it's such a thing now for people to do recaps. People everywhere they go, they do recaps, but they were not doing that consistently in 2017, 2018. Like it just
No.
wasn't happening. Everywhere you go, you do a recap. Like now people go on a date night and like my date recap. Like I don't need to see a date recap, but people do a recap for everything, right?
Yeah.
So
It's just easy content at the end of the day.
yeah, it's easy content. And I particularly go around and I start interviewing people on the team and stuff. And so I'm very strategic, and it's like it's not just about me, it's always about the people around me. It's always
Mhm.
about the people around me. And so, hey, I got to meet the Mizuno team. Let me get them on camera. Guess what? They're gonna remember that. Let me get the people who are putting on the event. Let me get some of the other influencers in my content, and I mix it all together. So it's not just me. Like that's not how I do content. If I just don't.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
And
it's a lot.
so
Right. Right.
like he'll tell you, like
Yeah.
most of the you'll be like, damn, whose page is this?
Because you meet people and then you start posting a bunch of their nice highlight. It's really good. Just go follow them, guys.
And so with the influencer night, that's where it started. And so, wine and dine us, and then the recap was super dope. But they gave us like they give you these initiatives that you have to do as an influencer, that you have to these benchmarks, right? We
Mhm.
want you to do this many posts, this many stories, this many whatever, and they give you creativity on you some stuff, but these benchmarks you have to hit. Well, with that said, of course, I gotta exceed them, right? I gotta exceed them.
Yeah.
You blow them away. And so out of all those 2 dozen potential, influencers that were going to work with the company, even beyond that, I was the only one that beyond there still worked with them. They came back to me and said, hey, we want you to host the world's largest the world's largest 10K race right here in Atlanta. We want you to host it
Cool.
on our Instagram page.
Oh, that's dope.
And I did. And it was a Peachtree Road race. So every year, if you're in the running community, every year, July 4th, the world's largest 10K is in Atlanta. The world's largest, over 60,000 people
60,000 people show up.
run. And they travel for all over the world, bro.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. 60,000 people.
And they run it over 6 miles.
That's nice. Wow.
That's crazy. They think that over 60,000 people who never run a day in their life come and they walk, they crawl, they push carts, they push themselves, they wheelchair their way up
Mhm.
over 6 miles, bro,
That's cool.
on 4th of July.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I gotta do that one of these days because I
Yeah,
told
you
myself
gotta.
I started running again last year, so I was like, I gotta keep increasing my distance and things like that because to me it's just a nice fun outlet, and I've been running my whole life, so.
Yeah, it's super dope to see the inspiration you get if you've never run a
Mhm.
race together. And when people hear race, they think competitive, like you versus everybody else. It's
It
you
can be.
versus you.
It can be if you want to have a little, intermediate kind of, little challenge between you and your friends. But definitely, it's about coming together and doing something, and everybody accomplishing it, no matter what time you run.
Right. If I see a look, I mean, lie to you. I've been in races where I had no energy, no thought of going hard. Right. I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna finish. And then I see this 70-year-old lady blowing by me. I'm like, oh hell no! Like,
Yeah, you got to get by her.
yeah, like yo,
Yeah,
like yo, what we doing? Like
yeah.
you get that juice, and you see the kids out there running, or you see
Mhm.
other people, and you're start all of a sudden you see somebody next to you. Hey, you got it, you got it. Next thing you know, you're not even in your head no more. You're pushing them.
So let me ask you this question: how are you able to kind of create the ideas for that company? Because some of my challenges is I have an idea for one thing, but I don't know how to like kind of take that one idea and keep creating little branches off of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good question. When it comes to creativity, I'll be honest. I'm blessed in the fact that I never get short of ideas.
Okay.
Like literally, I can come up with you tell me the brand, you tell me the concept and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to market and what message you're trying to put out there. I
Mhm.
can create an idea for it. You can literally talk to me for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and I was like, all right, these are the reels you need to make and da 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 da.
Mhm.
So with them, I just like with them or any company I work with, because I've been blessed to work with some really dope companies, bro. Like some really dope companies. Like, and so I just let them know from the beginning, are you gonna let me be as creative as I can? And they
Okay.
say, yeah, we want that's what we want you to be creative. And I say, okay, cool. So when I do this Instagram takeover, I want to go live and I want to promote the day before, and I want to do a bunch of stories, and I'm gonna make sure that when I run up to people and interview them on the spot. Oh yeah, sure. Just do everything you want. When I deliver this stuff, it's like I go above and beyond, and the quality is so good. It gives them more confidence, and they give you even more free reign. They give you the password to the Instagram account for their global account, and you're like, wait a second,
Wow.
yeah, I got the password. Like, yo, I'm logging in.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not using their phone. And so
Yeah.
the answer your question the best I can is that you find out what their goals are, what are their initiatives, right? And they said, hey, we want people to know that we are the official ambassador of the race. We want people to know we're a fun brand and that it's about everyone running their own race. All right,
Mhm.
cool. I can tell that story. I'm going to tell the story by getting other people that in the crowd to tell the story. I'm going to see the mayor of Atlanta running by the race, and I'm going to bulldoze my way in. Hey, Mayor of Atlanta. Hey, have you heard of
Have you
Mizuno?
seen it?
Huh?
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I interviewed the mayor. I interviewed the mayor every year, like
How
as
did
we're running the race. I somehow, I'm telling you, bro, somehow always find the right people to do it, right people to interview, and that's just hey, the mayor. Hey, how's it going? Like Keisha Lance Bottoms was the mayor at that point.
Mhm.
Boom. Then the last 2 years, I run into Andre Dickens, the current mayor of Atlanta. Like
Okay,
it's just like
that's
I'm
cool.
going to find the person. So that's what's different about me. Once I know the goals,
Hmm.
get the security, get out the way. You know who I am.
No, that is dope. That is dope. So, I want to ask you another question. It's very similar and related. So, it almost goes about what you spoke about earlier. So, like every single year, there's a different trend or the market in this like social media thing changes. How do you keep adapting when the market changes so often? Because personally, I keep falling back and then I get discouraged. So
Mm,
I take time back and like try to figure out a new strategy, and then it takes forever to come back, and then I hit it again for like a couple months, and then I fall back on it again because I'm like it's just not hitting as fast as I wanted to go, or I may not see the success in the time I want. But you seem to always have consistent content rolling out, even when things are changing and things are adapting. You know what I mean?
yeah. The best answer I can give to that one is to not really follow trends.
Okay.
Um, I
That's
don't
a
really follow trends. If you really kind of like notice, it's kind of like I'm always doing my own thing. Now, granted, like there's a difference between my content in 2017, then 2019, and 2020, and
Mhm.
2024. It's always different, but it's not necessarily totally based on trends. So, like for example, in 2020, so I say let's take it back 2017, and I should probably do a timeline one day. I think it'll be fun. I
Mhm.
think it's like 2017 to 2019. You're gonna see like a lot of running content, a lot of static photos, a lot of static images and like really like dope digital flyers, like
Mhm.
flyers that now people make them in Canva. Back then I was making them in PhotoFi on my phone and
Wow.
InShot and stuff, right?
Okay.
2020 I started speaking more. I started sitting down literally in front of the camera, just saying, hey, you're a fitness influencer, you want to make money online, you got to take your business seriously, blah 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 blah. I started saying stuff like that and speaking to people almost like in a Gary V format, where it's like that.
Let me ask you a question
Hmm.
because I've done research and I've gotten feedback back, and the feedback I hear is if you don't talk, you don't really get the audience that you're looking for because they don't know who you are just by you posting a video with a layer of music on top of it. There's no way that they can possibly have a positive engagement with you besides dropping a fire emoji at the bottom of your video because you're not really giving them anything.
You're not giving them anything. The only thing they can get is a sense of maybe a sense of humor a little bit. They can get a
Okay.
sense of your humor based on the music you put in there, or maybe it's the way you like. So we're talking about fitness influencers. So like if
Hmm.
you're certain music that you put out there and it's funny and it's like when you're working out.
Almost almost for like a person who may just post fitness workouts, fitness workouts.
Yeah, they don't get a sense for your person. Honestly, they're going to be more intrigued by your body and your workouts
Yeah.
more than who you are, right? Because they don't know who you are. They've never heard your voice. They never heard you tell a joke. They've never heard you what you like to do on the weekends. All they've seen you do is work out with dope music and dope transitions and it's dope videos. So when they see you in person, it's like, hey, I love your videos. All right, cool. That's where the conversation kind of stops.
True. Usually, yeah. Do you think that's a good thing that people should talk more in their videos? Because I'm thinking about possibly doing more speaking, just trying to get more comfortable behind the camera and just kind of like even just talking about what I did and rather than just showing what I did.
Yeah, I think so. I think you should talk more. And part of the reason is because of the community, to really
Okay.
build a community and people that will follow you through trends, that follow you through platforms, to follow you to live events. So, because people want you want people to buy stuff at some point. You want them to buy the Pump and Culture Podcast hoodie. You want them to buy, your event when you do a live boot camp. You want them to, you're doing all of a sudden you're hosting a retreat and you want them to spend the weekend with you in Miami. Well, guess what? They didn't know Casey because if I just see you just flexing all the time and like I'm hell, somebody might just be intimidated. They look like, yo, this dude gonna have me just working out 24/7 and like they don't know that you can chill and just just kick
Yeah,
back too. They don't know that.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
They don't know. So yeah, I would say definitely talk more. In spot honestly, I would tell you that there's a lot of companies that I work with. Let's say, for example, whether it's Mizuno running USA, whether it's Gatorade, whether it's the NFL, whether it's Atlanta Track Club, whether it's the Home Depot backyard. I'm not gonna keep doing that.
So, so you just gonna start listing your stuff off.
I'm
I
not.
see.
I'm not gonna keep doing that. But I'm just saying, whether it's any of them, they
Yeah,
always talk about the fact that so I'm showcasing my personality and I'm
yeah.
showcasing the people around me's personality consistently. So whether that is a skit, whether it's talking,
Hmm.
whether it's like behind the scenes moment bloopers, like it doesn't have to be just overly produced either. And that's another thing. Like
Yeah,
when it's overly produced, people I listen between this new space with AI and where things are going, and everybody's using CapCut and
yeah.
everybody's using TikTok, and everybody's gonna have these templates that you can just drop videos in, and
Hmm.
so everybody's gonna feel like overly produced. And what does everybody hate when they watch TV or when they watch YouTube? They hate overly produced commercials. They skip it. They skip. When they feel like they're just watching commercials over and over and over, they're gonna start skipping your content. So that's why you gotta break the mold. You gotta bring personality to it. That's why Club Shay Shay and everything and like Pat McAfee and all the stuff you see blowing up on YouTube is
Personalities. It's all.
personalities, man.
Yeah, I do. I do notice that. I notice that the more people give the personality, I mean, you do get a little bit of the hate, but if you just kind of push that outside, the love is there as well. So,
People hate me. There's something like now I can say a lot of people. It's when I say people, I'm
mhm.
talking about like out of the community. There's always going to be a good 5%, 5% of people who just follow you, but they just like, let me just stay close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really like, and I get comments sometime in the DMs and this and that. It literally has zero effect on me, and I never reply to any of it because,
Good.
for one, this is how you protect your community. You just delete it,
Move on.
restrict them, or block them.
That's
Why are you responding? Like, unless you just want the smoke and you want the engagement to go back and forth, I don't got time for it. Somebody goes in there and say, "Hey, yeah, you're running form, da 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 da." Da." You can give me critiques. I'm not wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But when you literally go in there trying to just bait me into something, I don't even reply, bro. I just delete it and keep it moving.
no, and I realize this social media community these days, they love to bully behind the lines. Like they'll send that text or they'll type that message out real quick, but they won't say it in person to you.
They won't. They
They
won't.
won't.
As soon as you get, oh hey CJ, how's it going?
Yeah,
Hey
all
Casey,
love,
what's
but
up?
not
What's
really
up?
fake. Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that about because it's so much. It's so easy to type something hateful, but you'll never say that because you're afraid of what's gonna come if you say that.
What Drake say about the Twitter fingers? Like, come on, like all y'all got Twitter fingers, but at the end of the day,
That's
bro,
it.
like I just keep it like this. Like, if you have to go on someone's social media and try to make someone feel less than, or you're just trying to trigger them into something, that's
Mhm.
not a space I'm into. I just, like I said, I just move on from it, and feel like, especially when you're focused on brand deals and you're focused on how you come across. And a lot of times, people will say, and especially in the fitness and influencer space, they want to work with Nike, they want to work with Adidas, they want to work with all these brands, right? But here's the thing: how are you going to do that when you're showing you can't even handle bad PR? Because really,
That's
that's what it is.
Yeah,
You're going
you're using
back
business.
and forth with somebody over some stupid comment. What? Why?
Hmm. Hmm. What do you think you not sticking to certain trends may hurt your growth in the long term? Because I know you don't really stick or follow these current trends, and I know people always say do what's hot and you'll blow, but I feel like do what's hot, you're fake. I don't want to go down that path and try to be someone I'm not just to try to get that clickbait. And do you think that's hurting you not trying to go down that path, staying to these trends or trying to follow what other people are doing right now?
No, I don't think it's hurting me in particular. Now, and everybody's answer may be a little bit different, but for my case, I have more opportunities now, and I've had 14,000 followers for like the last what 6 to 7 months, and I've gained 400 in the last 6 7 months. And most people are like, "Oh, that's all you've gained in the last 6 7 months?" Yeah, I've only gained 400, and guess what? Those 400 are worth way. They're way more valuable
Let's
than
talk about that
than your
because
40,000 you gain
let's
that
talk
that
about that
won't buy anything from you.
because you have you don't we don't have the largest following, but you have a loyal, like, engaging 14,000, and that's what matters because you can have a million and only 10,000 actually want to engage into your content at all, or or try to help what you're trying to accomplish in life. So that's a positive way to look at it. And a lot of people don't look at it like that because they look at it as a numbers game.
They,
It's a
yeah, they look at
trying to
a
find
numbers game
success.
where it's like they got all these 100,000 followers, but I promise you. So here's the perfect example I can give you. The perfect example. You know about Ebony Fit Weekend. You know I'm the creative director. It's
Yep.
literally the biggest Black fitness expo that's been growing since 2019. It was created in 2019, and I jumped on board after the second one because it was here. The first one I went to was in Houston. When it came to Atlanta, I kind of got closer with the team, and now I've been part of the team ever since. There was no Ebony Fit Weekend page, by the way, Instagram page, like when I first locked in with them. And so here's the thing: it's now at like 42,000 or so, like that.
Bro.
But here's the thing: that page with its 42,000 people will get people to fly from across the world to these events. They book their whole year, they book their whole calendar, push, hire babysitters, push back vacations. Their whole life is dependent on, hey, I know I want to go to Ebony Fit Weekend this year. What are the dates? Boom. All right, bet I'm going to change my life to because it's that important to them
Yeah.
with the 40K. So somebody else might look at it and be like, oh, well, yeah, I got 300,000 followers. And why would I post you in my story? Or why would I like, oh, you're owed something because you like,
Yeah.
what's more valuable? Your 300K, where I guarantee you can do a boot camp and you can't get 20 people to show up
Yeah.
versus this page who's getting people to alter their lives, people coming from the UK, coming from Aruba, Canada, like, you see what I'm saying? So there's this whole false sense of numbers that makes it more important. And I'm like, if I could give you one page and blind, I like a blind test. I should be
Yeah.
like, do you want this page with 40,000 followers or this page with 400,000? Most people are going to take the 400,000 and not ask me any other questions. They're not gonna ask no details about the demographics, the purchasing rate, how often their engagement rate. Like they don't want to ask none of those questions. So that's I had to sorry, I just went on a little diatribe there, but it's like I'm
No.
passionate about that, bro.
No, yeah, because that's perfect. Because like it's just exactly what you said. It's not about the numbers. It's about the community that's behind you. And I've seen you've been growing on YouTube. You hit that thousand
Hey, come on.
subscriber mark. You know what I mean? How's that been going lately?
So it's been going good. I wish I would have, and I'm not saying it in a regretful way. I wish I would have just held myself a little bit more accountable last year because I know I could have hit the goal last year of 1,000. But
Mhm.
here we are, top of 2024. We hit the goal, and now I'm like, well, how do we get to 2,000? How do we get to 2,000 by the end of the summer? So it's gonna be a lot of damn YouTube shorts, a lot of YouTube shorts,
Yes.
and continuing to to build a live community. I go live every Monday, 7:30 Eastern, where I literally go in there and I talk about social media news, content creation, what's popular right now as far as different features, and we talk about trends, but in the way that I want people to just be aware of, is it worth trying for you, but not to go and just jump on every single trend. That's the thing. Like there's so many different apps and so many different features. You can't do it all. Like you just can't. So it's like figuring out what works best for you. And so that's why I like to bring in different perspectives, different guests. And so yeah, that's the thing is like with that show is, and so I do a live on YouTube and then I'll like do recaps of different gems. The YouTube shorts I put in skits and just random CJ stuff. And then I got some really cool stuff that I'm planning for the after Ebony Fit Weekend in Houston that's coming up here in a couple weeks.
When
Yeah,
is
I
it?
got some cool stuff coming for it.
When is the Ebony Weekend this year?
So Ebony Fit Weekend in Houston is happening this in 2 weeks from now, at the time of this recording, by the way. This is
2 weeks.
did it. But it's happening on April 4th through the 7th in
Okay.
Houston. Then we go into Miami June 7th through the 9th.
Wait. You going to Miami? June.
Miami.
What's the dates on that one?
June 7th through the 9th.
Oh man, I might have to go, man. Oh man, I might have to
Miami.
go.
Then we head into the ATL. We're back up here in ATL July 25th to the 28th.
Okay.
Then we're headed to DC
Okay.
September 13th to the 15th. That's a quick drive for you.
That's close.
Then we're going to Toronto.
Oof, I like Toronto.
We're going to go to Toronto. That's going to be September, October. And then we're going back to Aruba in November.
Nice. How did you guys so were you guys doing this once a year? How did they get to doing it like you guys have one almost every couple months now? How did you guys get up to that?
So the first year, I believe there was two. I believe it was Houston and Atlanta in 2019. Could be wrong in that, but I know it might have been Orlando too. It might have been three.
Okay.
Because that was always a base. It was always like Houston, Orlando, Atlanta. But then it started. The only year we kind of only did one. I know top of 2020 we did Orlando. Then COVID happened. I don't know if I can say that. Block that word out. I don't know how censored this thing is, but then that happened.
Yeah.
Then in 2023 we did that was the only time we also did just two because it was a 5-year anniversary. We wanted to just do the biggest ones we could do. We did Houston and Atlanta, and those just went crazy. So this year is the first time we went back to 5. Like we did 5 in 2022, where we did Dallas and at Miami and Atlanta. It was like crazy. And that this year is back even crazier, and we've added more international destinations. So it's continuing to grow. How does it grow? It grows because the demand is bigger than ever, but then there's more opportunities as the brand grows. There's more cities that say, "Hey, we want you to come." And so if it makes sense, if we have a venue that works with us and gives us the space, because to be honest with you, when you're talking about, we try to keep it in obviously in Black-owned gyms as much as we can. That's where we're trying to still keep it. And so you also have the constraint at times where it's like you got to find a gym that's big enough, and there might not be one in that particular city, or et cetera, because a lot of gyms are built on equipment being around and such like that. They might not have the biggest turf, and so there's a lot of things that comes into play with that. So as the brand gets bigger and bigger, trust me, it's not going to just be in gyms. It's going to be in different venues, and I can see them in stadiums and a lot of other stuff.
Tell the people what actually happens at Ebony Weekend. What does it compel of? I know you have it's Friday to Sunday or Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah, so when we have our 4-day event, it's like in Houston, it's our biggest one, and also Atlanta. It's where you get the full experience. Like on Thursday night, we have an opening night. So whether it's 3 or 4 classes on Thursday night or one giant lift party, which in Houston last year we had a giant lift party, and we're gonna have one again this year, where it's literally like 2-3 hours, a huge lift party with your favorite influencers, people from all over the city coming into, like, literally over 200 people. Just lifting and the vibing and vendors, and this is kicking off. That's just literally on Thursday night. Friday morning, we have a health and wellness conference. We talk about branding, marketing. We talk about social media strategies, literally mental health and wellness, all these different things during a full conference. Then on top of that, now this year we've also added, and this is all Friday morning, by the way, is a Ebony Fit mix and mingle, like speed dating, right?
That's different.
Then there's a body building seminar, right?
Okay.
Friday night. Then we do mix and mingle vibe. We take over a whole lounge, a whole club. Everybody's coming into the city. Everybody's vibing. Everybody's kicking it back. It's just crazy. Anybody you've seen on Instagram, YouTube, your favorites, they all just out there vibing, right? We just getting started. I just told you 2 days.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, 8 a.m. kick off class after class every hour for the next 8 to 9 hours. You are going to see 100+ people in every class, starting with like trap yoga, glute camp. We come up with creative collaborations for every single class, every hour on the hour. all the way until the end of the day. At 5 o'clock, we always do a lift competition. So it's a deadlift competition, which it always goes viral on TikTok, always goes viral on X, which is formerly known as Twitter. Just
Yeah.
goes crazy. We take over the internet. And I didn't even mention that there's over 50 different black owned vendors that are there in our expo that literally just they're getting promoted. We have celebrities come through. Slum Thug has been there. Um, Lil Scrappy has been there. The mayor of Houston's pulled up. The
Mhm.
mayor of I think College Park and when he did one here in Atlanta pulled up.
Mhm.
Like literally, people pull up like crazy. Celsius pulls up like it's bananas.
Okay, okay,
Then
that's
on
cool.
Sunday,
Yeah.
but wait, let me say
Oh, it's not
Saturday,
over yet. It's not over yet.
Saturday night, we go to the
Okay.
club. If you can make it, you might be tapped out. If you don't tap out, Saturday night's a club, vibes there. Then Sunday, do it even more. Three,
Mhm.
four more classes, right? And then a brunch party that ends it all on Sunday afternoon. Like one year, we even did a big pool party like on Sunday afternoon. Like it was just,
That's crazy.
bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a time. There's nothing like it. It's exhausting, but it's also memories that you will live with forever. And like you'll be on this high of motivation, whether you're in shape, out of shape. Don't come as you are. Don't be like, oh, I can't fit in with. Listen,
No.
take it from me. I don't look like Casey with my shirt off. Okay. But I'm still gonna vibe out. We're gonna get motivation. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna have a good time. And that's
Yeah,
what it's about. It's like leaving
it is.
inspired to go do better and do your best self. That's it.
No, no, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, because a lot of people like me, um, we just want to go out there and try to help people because it's not
Mhm.
about having these egos or trying to outlift somebody and this and that. It's about developing my body to look like this because I want to help other people as well.
That's it. And so yeah, the vibe in itself is that. But yeah, I just want to go back for a second too with the influencer thing because we were talking about like things that they should do trend wise. I would just
Mhm.
say this too: just be original. Just copying other people's content and just doing what they do is not going to lead you to anything. No real success because you're just going to blend in with everybody else. And that's the thing that when people say, "Oh, I want influencer deals," or "I want to work with this company," what's different about your page than everybody else if you're literally just copying what they do? If you're just using the same templates that they use in CapCut, what's really different? Just ask yourself that. And if
Really
you
nothing. Really nothing. And every other person you talk, they're like, yeah, I want to be an influencer for Gymshark. I'm like, how many people want to do that? And it's like, but then you look at someone's page or content, and I know you do Instagram audits, and so you're familiar with seeing pages like you said who look exactly like somebody else because they're copying verbatim what they do, so it looks similar. So they try to catch a brand's eye, but you're not original. There's no
yeah.
original content behind what you're doing. You're just reposting it with you behind the camera.
And I get the notion, and I look, I'm not saying I haven't even thought of it or even tried it in the past, because in the past I might have dabbled with it just to see what would happen. But when you start looking at it, you start studying stuff, you're like, hey, when you're just copying off of someone else's stuff, right? You start to realize, like, well, wait a second, I'm not getting the same results. But why? Because they may have done it first. They may have hit the right wave, or maybe at the same time, they may have just posted something that went viral 6 months ago or 12 months ago, and they got them 100,000 followers. And you're sitting here thinking what they're doing today is what's going to get you 100,000 followers. No, they hit a wave, they hit that moment, and boom. Like there's so many people right now, you can literally see they have numbers, and that's where they're at. Like it's not like they're still growing. And sometimes too, listen, just keeping it real, bro. Like y'all want the juice, I'm gonna give you the juice on this podcast. Like there are sometimes these gatekeepers, and I'm not Cat Williams, okay? I'm not Cat Williams, but there's these gatekeepers, you know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Where it's like if you're in this club, you're in that club, you might get an extra rub from somebody else, and all of a sudden you get support. And like sometimes you look at them like, how the heck do these people get this much push from like big names in the industry out of nowhere? And you're like, what is this, right? And you're like, you don't understand. They're like, yo, I've been tagging this person, I can't get their attention, but this new person came out of nowhere because you're not in the mix or you haven't met them in person or something. It's like sometimes it gets like that, man. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much who you know can kind of help you boost you up and kind of get you rolling a lot faster than a normal person.
And that's so, and that's like realistically, like for example, like I if you know me, for example, let's say, oh well, I know CJ, he's a creative director, Ebony for Weekend, he's connected with all these places. Yeah, you don't think I'm gonna look out for my friends? Yeah, but it's still gonna be earned, right? It's still gonna be earned. I'm not gonna put my name on a line for nobody that's
Yeah,
not going to put in the work.
but not everyone thinks like that. Everyone thinks about privilege. It's about someone having privilege to a knowledge or privilege to a person to have that connection to kind of say, okay, let me just rub off them and then boost them up to kind of get them rolling. And maybe that person, you like you said, may not represent you the best, but I don't think they're looking like that. They're just looking at it as a boost, as helping somebody because of a family connection, whoever, whatever it may be. At the end of the day.
You said family mob. I ain't say, yeah, you said that. But I was like, it's like, man, my whole goal is to help the fitness industry. And to give you a little bit of backstory too, it's like I told you a little bit earlier about my dad and why that's the passion behind it. Like he
Mhm,
struggled in his last years of life, right?
mhm.
Because of health elements, things like that. He kept secret from me. Because straight up as men, we hold things to ourselves. Like we don't want people to know what we're going through a lot.
And
So
that's
last thing,
and it's even worse.
exactly. It's real, bro. That's real talk. And it's like, so he didn't want his son to know how
Mhm.
much pain he was in or what he was going through in his last years. He struggled. And so here's the thing, my thing is like, okay, I might not live a perfect life, but I'm gonna try to do better so I don't have my last years be the same struggle where physical ailments. So let me try to change my diet a little bit. Let me try. All of a sudden, I start eating organic, or I start watching what I was intaking, or start working out more, and like doing these things I never really saw him get to do.
Okay.
And so, and also, how do I pay it back to the black community more than anything? How do I help other people in the black community? Well, the best way is by me helping fitness influencers, personal trainers, gym owners, get their message out. And if I can help you get to as many voices and many homes as possible and help you reach as many people as you want, then that's my way of helping us all, you know what I'm saying, do a little bit better.
No, that's a good way to think about it. No, that's a good way to think about it. Um, let me ask you this question: if you had to give somebody a couple tips, somebody who wants to start a page, an Instagram, a TikTok from zero today, how would you suggest they start that journey?
Well, give me more specific. So give me an example
So
like,
let's say same industry. They're very fit. They've been working out. They just
okay.
happen to go in front of a camera. They're ready. They want to start posting workout video. A little bit of talking, a little bit of everything. How
Mhm.
would they start today?
Man, first you should sign up for Fitness on University, and I help you step by step. That's first, but but real talk. So, if I was, let's say, if that was the case, you were fit, you wanted to start your own channel, your whole brand, right? First, go ahead and create um a page which you're going to try to keep that username in multiple platforms, right? So, let's say, for example, if it's Get Fit with CJ2 or whatever it is, make sure that that name is available across almost every platform, right?
Yeah.
Make sure it's available on TikTok, YouTube, X, Threads. How many can I name? Uh,
It's a
um,
lot of social media platforms.
Twitch, Discord, um,
Kick. What
Kick
else
It,
we got? Yeah.
Snapchat.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, all of them, right?
Yeah.
So you try to make sure it's available in all of them. Why? Because you want consistency. To be like when you want the omni channel, you want everyone's everywhere to feel your brand is the same. That's
Yeah.
what you want, right? And so you want to keep that. That's first off. Right? I'm gonna try to make sure it's available because one thing you don't want is like your
Mismatch
page
hits.
to go off on, it's viral on TikTok, but then all of a sudden on Instagram it's something totally different. I'm like, I can't even find this person on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So you try to do that. Then when it comes to the content, I would say obviously you're gonna go into video. Video is number one. It's no longer even a topic where it's like, well, what's the number one? Video is king, right?
Yep.
Video is king. So yes, you're gonna Instagram has been trending back to where they're more in favor of pictures, where it's like before it was like totally like, get these pictures out of here, all reels. Now it's like, okay, you can put your pictures. Your carousels are hot right now. Carousels are hot, but it's still based. I would start it on reels. I would take those reels. I would put them on YouTube Shorts. I would put it on TikTok. I would not try to make content for every single post. I mean, every single profile differently at first because it's
Mhm.
going to be too overwhelming. You're going to not do it. Take a reel, take a YouTube short or TikTok, and just cross that across the board. Boom, you got it 3 different places. You can even put it in Pinterest. That's four
Mhm.
different places. Throw it on Twitch. I'm not Twitch, but Twitter as well. Right
Okay.
now,
Okay.
when it comes to going live, like outside of the
You can
doing the
make
video,
a live going live sometimes, even if a person who's
yeah.
really who's just trying to get comfortable with it. I know it's
Oh,
gonna help them. Live is important.
you either want it or you don't. You either want it or you don't. And so I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
yeah,
you to
yeah.
go on TikTok and you're gonna go live.
Yeah, okay.
And the reason why, because TikTok algorithm is pushing you can have 0 followers and you will have 10, 20 people on your live.
You're live. Okay. Got
That's on TikTok, right? Right off the bat, they're gonna they push live because the way you've been on TikTok lately, I don't know if, but
you.
if you guys watch it, when you scroll through, when you
Yeah.
scrolling through
You
TikTok,
just
you get
live.
videos and then you get lives that pop up.
Yep.
That doesn't happen on any of the platform right now.
Yep.
So why not try it? Just go in here, 20 minutes, boom. And the thing is, you can take that content, save it, and put it somewhere else. Um, and the thing is about going live, you don't necessarily have to go live by yourself. You get on there with somebody that you might know who might already have a few followers. You might gain a few from there. And it could be like once a month. It could be like once every 2 weeks. I'm not saying do it every day,
Yeah.
but definitely give people, and that's content on your page right away by just me and you talking, for example. You can clip it into some stuff, take the pressure off of you, and people get to hear your voice. That way you don't just have to look in front of the camera and just, do it if that makes you nervous. Maybe talking to someone else makes you not nervous. I would say also download apps like InShot, CapCut. Make sure you have a Canva so you can make cool, amazing thumbnails. Because thumbnails are not just for YouTube; they are also for your Instagram. They are also for your other platforms. So when you're posting on TikTok, make sure you're selecting a good cover, right? You want to make sure that your covers are appealing. So someone goes to your page and then before they decide if they're going to follow you or not, most of the time, like I don't know if maybe I'm wrong in this, Casey, but I'm not following you directly from the reel itself. I'll go to your profile first.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone does these days. Because you could have one good reel and then the other things look like it just doesn't mesh together. It's like,
Yeah, I'm like, I want to see, first of all, what other content am I gonna get by except like by me following him? What else am I gonna get?
yep,
What else am I gonna? Because I'm not letting you in my space if it's gonna be a whole bunch of trash, right?
yeah,
But if your thumbnails are fire, I don't even need to click the videos. I'm like, oh, yeah, this person's gonna drop some dope content. I can read the labels. I know what's there.
hmm
I know what I'm gonna get. So make sure you have those type of apps. Also, don't be hesitant to continue posting 3 to 4 times a week. Even if you're getting 1 view, 2 views, I don't care. Still do it. Still post because the quality of your content is going to make a difference over time. And I know people will be like, "Man, I put all this time into it." You got to engage with people. The number one thing with growing right now is engaging. Like it's
hmm
outside of just going viral or having just connections, you got to connect with people. So take 30, 40 minutes a day. If you're serious, you got to do it. Go to other people's profiles, comment. Hey, I love your profile. I love this content. Whatever. Boom, boom. Don't use bots. You type it. You talk to him. I talked to Casey. Casey came in my live and he said, "Hey, what's up, CJ?" He jumped in my live a couple of years ago, and here we are today.
yeah.
Like you got to just go on somebody's live and ask to join. You see what I'm saying? Like it is social media, and we have to get back the social part. That's what I would say to lean
Ooh,
into that.
okay. Bring back the social part. Yeah, because it's yeah. I don't even know how to explain. Go more than that because you just knocked it off the top with that. Um, I got one more question before I'll end it today. And I think this is important because everybody needs kind of a network and a group of people. When you started and where you are today, how did you develop the network of people you have in at your disposal today?
Oh,
Um,
he's trying to give him the juice at the end. He's trying to give him the juice.
because a lot of people have groups and niches of people that they travel with, do businesses together, especially with this social media business, directly what I'm talking about. So, and I see people doing things, and I'm like, how did they find that group? How did they network? And, did somebody meet them or introduce them? Like, explain to the people how you networked and found your group of people that you started doing business with and all those other things.
So, with when it comes to that, I would say the number one thing I was doing at first, I was volunteering at events. I was volunteering at conferences, right? I was going to conferences with like-minded individuals at it was this conference called Social Proof Conference I went to, Build Your Own Brand, BYOB, here in Atlanta. I would go to a lot of conferences. And so I wanted to know about entrepreneurship. I wanted to know about content creation from other perspectives and to network with people. And I would volunteer. That way, for one, you got a free ticket.
Yeah.
Right? You're in the rooms with these
Yeah.
people, and you're getting your way to feel you around. Like, okay, I see how things move. And plus, in my same time in my head, I'm like, I want to do a conference one day. So all this is benefiting me. All this is benefiting me, right? And so, the best way I would say is to, how I created this network is literally by people I would meet in those events. I just said, hey, hold me accountable to something. We're gonna do our own conference one day. We're gonna be on stage together one day. We're gonna do this one day. And we kept in touch. Like Coco Chanel Jones, who I said we have we co-own Fitness on University right now. We were at a volunteered at a conference in 2018, and I remember her holding the door, and we were looking in the room. We're like, yeah, we're gonna be on that stage one day. And literally 2 years later, we created our own conference, and she's been doing conferences, hosting events. She hosts events at Every Fit Weekend. She's hosted events at some of the biggest fitness events throughout the country since then, and it's all because of, hey, we hold ourselves accountable to it. Some of the people that I've met literally at these conferences, they might have moved out the country and stuff, and they still keep up with me on Instagram. Because the thing is, about a lot of times when people network, they don't follow up. They don't really go into, hey, how you doing? Hey, check-in. There's literally 300 conversations probably in this phone, on this text message, where I can reach out to these people, and that they know they're gonna answer and they're gonna support me because I'm gonna always be there for them. And it's like touch points, right? I might talk to you once every 6 months, once every 2 months, and everybody has a different relationship. But the best way to network, I would say in general, outside of, because I'm a little extreme. Like, I literally have hundreds of conversations, bro. Is to really just follow up with people, and my network of people honestly also came from just consistency. Because a lot of times people reach out to me like, man, you're just so consistent, you're inspiring, and they just, I talk on their page, they talk on mine, and boom, boom, boom. And I'm not afraid to talk to people in person. Like, a lot of people, they look fun on social media. They do all this content, and then you get in person, and they don't even talk to you.
I mean, yeah, they're not the same person.
They don't even want to talk to you. I'm too good, or they're too good to talk to you, or they act like there's so many. Oh, you only got this many. You only got 3,000. Wow, they look at you like a benefit or non-benefit, and they don't look at you as a person first. And that's not the type of people I'm attracted to. So I'm going to only pull the people that that mess with me, like literally good vibes, good people, good purpose, good energy, right? And so the networking part comes from not just going to events and not talking. Like, it's one thing to go to a conference, it's one thing to go to these parties or Ebony Fit Weekend or wherever, these events. But if you're not going to talk to people, it's not going to work. They still have to know you. They still have to meet you. You can't be scared to walk up to Casey and be like, "Yo, bro, I listen to your podcast. I love what you do, or whatever." Casey ain't gonna hit you. He ain't gonna beat you up. You know what I'm saying? I know he'll smile a lot, but he ain't gonna beat you up.
Well, I don't, but I'm a nice guy. Do you think Ebony Weekend is one of those weekends where it's like a perfect spot to like network, like for a person like me who really want to kind of collab with other people and stuff like that? I just, the thing is, a lot of people have busy lives, and it's hard to kind of get out sometimes when you got a lot of things going on.
Casey, you know the answer to that question.
I know, but I wouldn't ask you.
It is the perfect place for not only you, but for anyone who's into fitness, health, and wellness, whether that is at the beginning of your journey, whether you've never lifted a weight or you've been lifting weights for your whole life. It is perfect for you. It's perfect for the entrepreneur. It's perfect for the non-entrepreneur. The reason why is because it is, first of all, it's about the experience. It is not just about boot camps. Boot camps are a part of it. Deadlift parties are a part of it, but it's about the positivity of the people. Everyone there wants to see and have a good time. They want to see you. They want to meet other people. They're not coming there to just be balled up in their circle. And if they are, they're in the wrong place. We're there to network and go out the circle. Yeah, there's going to be your favorites, people you know, and there's family members and, extended family, people you've known for years you're going to connect with. But every year, I always tell my clients, my students at Fitness on University, you need to leave with 40 different followers. You need to leave this event right here tonight. You need to leave with 40 different followers. By Saturday, you need to have 100 more. And why? It's not just about leads. It's not just about potential business opportunities, which is part of it because you want to make money, but it's also because I want you to network and grow your community. You never know who you might meet that one year might start their own podcast and invite you on, that might need you to print a t-shirt for them, or they might be really good at Canva and they can help you on your team, or you don't know what people can do and you don't know what you might need them for. So you don't know how you can help them. There might be somebody that's reached out to you a year later and be like, yo, bro, I know you told me you did X, Y, and Z last year, Ebony Fit Weekend. You still doing that? I need help with that. That's usually how it goes, bro. In that community, not just with Ebony for Weekend, it's just how I move in general, like through events and like people are like, well, how do you get connected? How are you on the field at the stadium? How do you get connected to? How did you get connected with WWE and you're at the Super Bowl and all this stuff? Yo, I'm gonna tell you, it's all networking. If I was in the right place at the right time and not scared to get off my butt and get out there and be in the space by myself sometimes, because my friends are not gonna go with you everywhere. Your
Nope.
friends are not gonna go with you everywhere. I would have never got that tap on my shoulder. Hey, we can actually pay you to be at the Super Bowl. We're gonna pay you to be at the Super Bowl, bro. Hold on. I don't think. I don't
I
think
don't think they heard that, right? Right. I don't think they heard that.
paid me to be at the most expensive Super Bowl ever in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Why? Because for the first 3 years, I volunteered and I didn't get a dollar for it. I volunteered and didn't get a dollar for it. But because I was in the mix, I kept going. I kept going. They see my value. Somebody's like, hey, yo, you trying to work game day? Boom. Here you go. But sometimes you gotta do things yourself. Sometimes you gotta network. I was like, nobody else around me was like, yo, you still doing that thing for free? I only did it when it's here in Atlanta. No, I still paid to go to Miami. I still paid to go to Tampa during COVID and volunteer. Because why my ultimate goal? I'm like, well, why is he talking about fitness and go Super Bowl? My ultimate goal is to 1 year do a fitness event at Super Bowl weekend. How do I get that started? It's to build connections, to know who I need to know. And if some of these people are super busy, emails, things like that, you'll never get to them. You'll never even know who it is because it's so far behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Only way you're gonna get there is by putting years into it. And so 1 year, Casey, when you see it, you're like, yo, my guy CJ came on the podcast, said he's gonna host a fitness event at the Super Bowl. Just know
That's big. If you accomplish that, kudos to you. Because
no.
I know you will
When
you do it, and I know you will. Because that'll be a great accomplishment that you could just check off, and that's just a part of what's going to be next after that. So that's
and by the way, there's people who do events, Super Bowl weekend and stuff like that. But no. I mean literally with the NFL collaboration. That's the goal.
You want an NFL collaboration?
Yes.
I thought you just wanted to host something Super Bowl weekend.
No.
You want the
NFL. I want players involved. I want players a part of the boot camp.
Okay.
And I mean, like, yo, all of a sudden Tyreek Hill, he's part of this. You know what I'm saying? Get the cheetah involved. Let's go.
That is dope, bro. That is dope. I just want to ask you one more question because I heard you say it. How can somebody get into being a part of those events, your conferences? Do they have to sell a certain product? Do they have to have certain knowledge behind a certain subject? How can they get on that stage, man?
What did Cat Williams say? No, I'm just playing. So the way that people get into those stages, multiple different ways I'm going to answer that question. One, let's say, for example, if it's something I'm creating alone, let's talk about everything outside of Ebony Fit Weekend first, right? So if somebody was to network with me, the best way is to add value first, right? And that doesn't mean necessarily buy from me. Buying from me, that trust me, it doesn't hurt, because I'm gonna look at people who support the brand. That's just realistic. That's just somebody who supports me. Oh, trust me, my goal is to make sure that you win and that you're happy, so I
Mhm.
can continue to do business with you. And there's a love for love thing,
Mhm.
but it could be as simple as just commenting on my post. It could be literally you sharing my post. It could literally be something simple as that. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm starting to notice, and I go to your page and I say, oh, this person really rocks with me, and I know that they're really dope at this. Now you're in my head. So the next time I'm creating a boot camp, or I'm creating a fitness podcast, or I'm creating an event, or whatever it is, your mind, like your name is in my back of my Rolodex right here. Man, I'm aging myself saying Rolodex. It's like like I'm keeping like your tabs on you, because it's like, hey, I
Mhm.
remember you. You're kind of constantly front of mind because you're always around. You're always commenting. You're always on my YouTube lives. Trust me, everybody who's on my YouTube live, I remember. And so like that's just how I would say network virtually, right?
Mhm.
Outside of just meeting me in person, what you can virtually support people. That's the number one way to you can get. And so don't just go into somebody's DM, hey, I want to be part of da 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 da. You can do that. You can take cold shots, but what I'm saying is that doesn't always work. And sometimes the opportunity may not be open, but that doesn't mean that there's a no. It just means that not right now. That opportunity's not there. But stay connected. Don't just wait until you see another opportunity and then DM me. There's some people that only DM me when there's Ebony Fit Weekend come around, and then they want to be put on there. And so now look at the Ebony Fit Weekend to get put on. You gotta have your own motion.
Gotcha.
You gotta have your own motion, because why? It is not a place where we're going to put you on a platform where there's a guessing game, right? We need to know that you can pull people. Why? It's like the NBA All-Star Weekend. That's what it is. The NBA All-Star Weekend is not putting nobody on there that's not worthy of the starting five, right?
Mhm.
Like, by the way, don't compare the NBA All-Star Weekend, because I shouldn't do that, because their last game was trash.
Yeah.
But but my whole point is the
Mhm.
stardom behind it.
Yeah.
Like it was still a sellout event, right? Because
Always.
people want to see LeBron, they want to see Steph Curry, they want to see Dame. Well, because they know. So in your case, if you're a fitness professional or fitness influencer, and by the way, you don't have to be 100% certified trainer and all that. It's not about that, and that's a whole topic for another podcast, bro. With this whole
Yeah.
certification thing, does it really matter?
Mhm.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna answer that, but that's the next podcast episode. A little teaser. But it's like, hey, bro, like,
Yeah.
can you sell out a boot camp? Can you bring consistently 20, 30 people in your city? Can you bring that on the road? Like that stuff matters, because we're trying to hit numbers, and like you can't put somebody out there. And so really the best way to do that is to be in the mix, support Ebony Fit Weekend, be there, meet the team, add value. And then I know it's like a trendy thing to say add value, but what I mean by add value is it could literally just be by showing up and saying what's up.
Yeah.
The smiling face in the morning time, that we recognize who's there for the
Mhm.
last 3-4 years. And trust me, a lot of the people you see in the schedule this year has been there from the beginning, like literally, like from the beginning when there was only 20 people in the class, and now there's over 150, 200 people in classes, bro. Like, of course we remember those people that still kept showing up when it was only 20 people, and they're still there today. Like a lot of times people wait till things get hot.
Always. That's a big thing. Jumping on a hot train already. It's already moving. Let me just hop on it.
Be loyal,
Mhm.
be real, be supportive, but also show what you can bring to it. That's the best way. And the best way is you can be tagging us. You can be tagging me. You can be tagging Every Fit Weekend. You can be saying, hey, look at the motion I got. And don't be tagging me where it's like 4 or 5 people. Like, don't do that. No disrespect, but don't do that.
Mhm.
Right. Like, I'm talking about like if you every now and then, hey, just tap in with me. And you don't even have to tag me all the time. You could just be like, if you just engage with my stuff, I'm going to engage with yours. I'm going to see it. Same thing
Mhm.
with Ebony for Weekend Team, whether it's Greg or Ashley, like they're going to see, they're the owners, they're going to see it, and they're going to be like, yo, we need them. We need them. Oh, you see them? They got this dope class going up in Jersey. Yeah, let's go. Let's see if he's trying to come down to Houston. That's kind of how it goes.
Yep. Wait until the summer, bro. I got some stuff coming out.
Oh, he said he got some heat coming
Yeah.
out.
So this
Drop a
summer's gonna
bomb
be
on us. You heard that?
this summer's gonna be a nice summer. But I think we're gonna end it here. I want to thank CJ and all his information that he gave out today. a lot of gems to the industry. A lot more that he didn't go into. So maybe into it in another future episode about each platform and a lot of their different benefits and things like that. But CJ, once again, I thank you. I appreciate you coming on. And let's have a great day. I don't know how to end it like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm just gonna say,
Positive.
look. Last thing, can I say one last thing before
Go
we
ahead, do
go?
you think, bro?
Make sure if you're not already following me on
No.
Instagram,
Mhm.
follow me, Fit with CJ or CJ the Creator with two E's, and also on YouTube. Link is in my Instagram bio. You can find me also on YouTube. I have all channels on all social medias, but those are the main two. You can find me primarily if you follow me anywhere, YouTube. I really would appreciate it. We're over 1,000. We're trying to get them more, and I will subscribe back to
Keep
you if you
climbing
want me to.
and climbing and climbing. So we still climbing on that YouTube. So um, appreciate you, CJ.
All right, we out, bro.
All right, take care, man.